What's up, guys? This is Chris from DraftDashboard.com. Here are my DFS picks for NBA Tuesday, December 21st. These picks apply for DraftKings and FanDuel. Before I get started, please drop a like on this video and hit that red subscribe button and hit that bell icon so you don't miss our new videos. In this video, I'm going to go over my top picks for today's NBA slate. And if you stick around to the very end of this video, we'll use the Draft Dashboard tools to make a DFS lineup using the picks we just made. Okay guys, we have a 5-game slate tonight, so let's take a look at the point guard position. Where's my point guard? There he is. I like Devontae Graham from the New Orleans Pelicans playing the Portland Trail Blazers, who have the 10th worst defense overall. They're middle of the pack defending opposing point guards. Devontae Graham has averaged 27 fantasy points per game on the season, playing an average of 31 minutes per game with a 20% usage rate. He's projected at 27.8 fantasy points here tonight. That's 5.2 times value. He's $5,400 DraftKings salary, $1,000 more on FanDuel. Vegas thinks there's going to be 219.5 points scored in this game. And Devontae Graham has scored 47, 36, and 14 fantasy points in his last 3 games, playing 36, 33, and 31 minutes. So I like Devontae Graham here versus the Portland Trail Blazers. Oh, and just keep your eye on Kemba Walker from the New York Knicks playing the Detroit Pistons, who have the 6th worst defense overall. They give up the 8th most fantasy points to opposing point guards. Kemba Walker scored 43 fantasy points in 37 minutes last game with a 30% usage rate. He's projected at 29.4 fantasy points here tonight. That's 5.6 times value. He's only $5,200 DraftKings salary, $500 more on FanDuel. So I like Kemba Walker here versus the Detroit Pistons. Okay, let's take a look at the shooting guard position. I like Tim Hardaway Jr. from the Dallas Mavericks playing the Minnesota Timberwolves, who have the 7th worst defense overall. They give up the 7th most fantasy points to opposing shooting guards. Tim Hardaway Jr. has scored 52, 39, and 29 fantasy points in the last 3 games, playing 40, 40, and 27 minutes. So what sticks out to me here is that he's playing 40 minutes the past 2 games, so that's monster minutes. So if he can get close to 40 minutes, I'm expecting him to score 32 fantasy points or more, get you 5 times value and more. He's $6,100 DraftKings salary, $800 more on FanDuel. So I like Tim Hardaway Jr. here versus the Minnesota Timberwolves. Real quick, guys, I got great news. For a limited time, we're offering a full 30-day trial to Draft Dashboard. You can try all of our DFS tools for all sports. You can try the Position Optimizer, where you can see the top players ranked for each position. And we added a new Player Trends tool, where you can see the top salary differences between FanDuel and DraftKings. It's a really good tool to help you pick out value for the site that you're playing on. Oh, and if you're tired of doing research every day, we just added a cheat sheet that shows hand-picked plays for the slate. No confusing stat lines, no headaches, just a simple cheat sheet that shows the absolute best players for your lineups. And from the Minnesota Timberwolves, I like Malik Beasley playing the Dallas Mavericks, who have a good defense overall. They give up the 4th most fantasy points to opposing shooting guards. Malik Beasley has averaged 20.4 fantasy points per game on the season, playing an average of 26 minutes per game with a 20% usage rate. Now, he scored 26 and 33 fantasy points in the past 2 games, playing 30 and 32 minutes. So he's playing more minutes, so I expect him to score at least 25 fantasy points here tonight. That'll be 5 times value or more. He's $4,800 DraftKings salary, $500 more on FanDuel. So I like Malik Beasley here versus the Dallas Mavericks. Okay, let's take a look at the small forward position. Here is a value play for you. So I like Max Struss from the Miami Heat playing the Indiana Pacers, who have a good defense overall. They've been middle of the pack defending opposing small forwards. Max Struss has scored 35, 46, and 16 fantasy points in the last 3 games, playing 33, 33, and 23 minutes. He's only projected at 19 fantasy points here tonight. Now he's averaging 17.1 fantasy points per game on the season, playing an average of 21 minutes per game with an 18% usage rate. But he's been playing more minutes the past couple of games. Now I expect him to get 30 plus minutes again here tonight. So I think he can score 25 fantasy points or more, possibly another 30 plus fantasy point game. So that would be 5 times value or more. He's $4,700 DraftKings salary, $1,000 more on FanDuel. So I like Max Struss here versus the Indiana Pacers. Okay, let's take a look at the power forward position. So here's a value play. I really like this value play because this guy's playing a ton of minutes. He's got 30 plus fantasy point upside. So I like Robert Covington from the Portland Trail Blazers playing the New Orleans Pelicans, who have a middle of the pack defense overall. They've been pretty good versus opposing power forwards. And Robert Covington has averaged 19.9 fantasy points per game on the season, playing an average of 28 minutes per game with a 12% usage rate. He's projected at 21.6 fantasy points here tonight. That's 5 times value. He's $4,300 DraftKings salary, $1,700 more on FanDuel. So I love that DraftKings price. And he scored 35, 32, and 18 fantasy points in the last 3 games, playing 33, 31, and 22 minutes. Vegas thinks there's going to be 219.5 points scored in this game. So I like Robert Covington as a value play here versus the New Orleans Pelicans. Okay, moving on to the center position. I like Jonas Valanciunas from the New Orleans Pelicans playing the Portland Trail Blazers, who have the 10th worst defense overall. They're middle of the pack defending opposing centers. Jonas Valanciunas has averaged 41.1 fantasy points per game on the season, playing an average of 32 minutes per game with a 24% usage rate. He's projected at 43 fantasy points here tonight. That's 5.2 times value. He's $8,300 DraftKings salary, $500 less on FanDuel, and he scored 41, 45, and 40 fantasy points in the last 3 games, playing 39, 34, and 32 minutes. So I like Jonas Valanciunas here versus the Portland Trail Blazers.
If you want to try all these daily fantasy tools for yourself, click the link in the description below this video or just go to draftdashboard.com. You can use our DFS lineup optimizer to build quality lineups using our picks and your own custom player pool. Click the link in the description below this video and try all these daily fantasy tools right now. Thanks so much for watching. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel and hit that bell icon so you can get instant updates whenever we post a new video. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this video, please smickety smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Oh, and please comment below with your favorite player for this NBA slate. I love to hear what you guys have to think. Thanks again, and good luck.